So next we're going to hear from Sarah from Parents for Future.
Hi everyone. My name's Sarah. Like Jemima said, I'm from a group called Parents for Future. We're a climate group for busy parents all over the country. And we've got local groups in Sheffield, the High Peak, and Derbyshire Dales. So if you're interested, you can come say hi to me or James or Ginny. We're all in Parents for Future. So on the 9th of October, 2023, my young toddler was at her outdoor nursery and I was cycling around running errands. As I'm sure you remember, that was the day that Sheffield filled with smoke. My whole neighborhood was covered in a thick haze and reached as far as I could see. And I didn't know the cause at the time. A few days later, I was reading David Bocking's newsletter when a short blurb mentioned that the cause of the smoke was moorland burning for driven grouse shooting. And I was livid. I was just absolutely seething for days about this. How could that be allowed? That landowners could burn the moorland, causing serious air pollution, just so some rich folks could come shoot birds. How could they risk harming my daughter like that? We lived near Lowfield Primary at the time, which is already one of the most highly polluted areas in the city. And the largest reading of harmful air pollution that day was at that primary school, more than 5 times the legal limit. Children are particularly vulnerable to poor air quality, and that day the children in my neighborhood and all across the city were exposed to high levels of air pollution for hours. I later read an article in the Star about a mother whose asthmatic daughter was coughing so much she could barely breathe and could barely walk home from school that day, and it affected them for days. It's not worth it. The health of our children and other vulnerable people should be prioritized over a sport for the wealthy. And I know that they say that the smoke that day was an anomaly, but it was one time too many for me. The more I learned about moorland burning and grouse shooting, the angrier I got. I learned that peatland is one of our country's biggest carbon stores, but burning it releases tons of CO2, accelerating climate change. I learned that degraded moorlands lead to more flooding in nearby communities, but healthy moorlands with lots of sphagnum moss act as a natural flood defense. I learned that all this heather is a monoculture and real healthy moorlands have a much wider variety of plants and animals. And I learned that these landowners receive hundreds of thousands of pounds from the government to take care of it. We're in the middle of a climate crisis and a biodiversity crisis, yet these incredibly valuable lands are being destroyed for an old-fashioned and cruel sport. They should be reclaimed and restored for the good of all people. I had to do something, so I started a campaign against moorland burning. A few of us in Sheffield joined up with some other parents in the High Peak. We're mothers and fathers who mostly have very young children and thus very little time. We use so much of our free time writing to our MPs, developing workshops, coming up with family events. Even just writing this speech was really hard to do around a 3-year-old and a baby. I wish I could be using my free time bird watching or reading instead of feeling I have to change the world. We're a small group, but I hope that we're mighty. I hope that our voices as parents can help push this issue over the edge and stop moorland burning for good. Because our kids deserve better. I look forward to a future where my children will enjoy clean air and clean water, where animals aren't shot for fun, where the beautiful lands surrounding our city are taken care of for the good of all people. I want them to be able to roam these moorlands joyfully and freely, be able to munch on bilberries and count all the insects and look at all the beautiful birds in the sky. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah.